gain as many points as they can, trying to get to that top 5 position. They started off sluggishly in game 1. Game 2 is a little bit better. Game 3 was amazing for them.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can continue to work their way up. But for the most part, though, things are looking okay. I think all teams are pretty comfortable with the positioning. There's no crazy environment that you got to get through. So a lot of these guys, they're going to use these old builds and just walk in. We're seeing that from Nate Hill and Co.
Just took a peek and look at the circle. It pushed outside of factory. It's on the west side a little bit. So all those people that build bases not for now, unless Storm pushes back there, you're seeing the congestion. The congestion happening on the east side of the circle, and that's why Nick A30 and his squad and Nate Hill are making this rotation, this gentleman's agreement rotation, because they have to, because they cannot go through factory, because if they do, they're gonna get so much. But taking a look at the map, look at the congestion side there. It's energy fishing on actually on side. They're actually so they're gonna make an easy rotation in. So it's up to Nate Hill and any kind of way as it reverse K and Day and Miro have an opportunity to storm hold them here. But wow, what an interesting development. I mean, such a stack that could just add it.
Oh my lord!
It's insane. It's Buck Kanata are on top of it. So many resources are going to have to be recycled here. A lot of impact frag must happen because a lot of it's going to be wasted just trying to take as much real estate here as possible for these remaining troops.
40 seconds remain, and then everybody's going to scatter. They're going to go as quickly as they can. Reverse, Miro, Day. Liking their positioning. Yeah, it's simple, but it works because everybody's going to be coming straight into them. So they have an opportunity to edit out a window and just get a couple of quick picks if they can, or at least tag up some players. But they do have to watch out. As you mentioned before, you got Kanata and Co. who's going to be up top, and that right there is going to be a big factor. A lot of fights are taking place down low. That's where the jungle is. Everybody up top, though, it's pretty much free picking as players now will start to rotate in about 5 seconds. So this rotation, we might have a chance of losing a lot of players here.
Oh, no doubt about it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, as we're edging to that. Take it on board. This is where the IG game leaders are going to read the circle as we hit the first. I think the right side is going to be free to walk over, and that's where Nick A30, Nate Hill, both squads made it, and that's what the is from reverse. They're going to go ahead and move on to get into the safe side. Use as possible. They have a lot of ability. Another high placement here from reverse UK and Miro.
Chad, I want you to watch those numbers drop. 45 remain, but wait until half and half is in full effect. You're going to watch, look at that drop down to about 30 or so, and then even less as we continue to move in. Liking this momentum, though. Zayt and Saf, they're out of it. Actually, Zayt getting a little overzealous. He went crazy with it, but hey, he's safe. He's now safely in that half and half, so he set himself up well. Kanata and Co now going to be dropping down. We knew that they had the high ground. Now they're forced to go into the jungle for that low ground fight. See if that works out for them. Miro trying to get some tags. He gets 25. That's okay. He'll focus now on innocence. No worries, but at least he's doing a little bit of damage because Storm Surge is a very real thing here. As things do get interesting. Super curious to see as to what does work out. I like that. Break the builds, and you see the players scatter. Kanata doing a great job using all of his inventory to make it happen. And at this point in time, things are going to get a little bit wild, though, but for the most part, I think everybody's kind of comfortable, right? This is the competitive that they're used to playing. Nosh, though, absolutely goes into the Wasp Nest. He gets gunned down. Not the effect Nosh was wanting. Super unfortunate. He now drops. Hopefully the rest of his teammates can back him up, but sometimes that's the risk you take, guys, whenever you use, some of those launch pads, when you use those crash pads and you just want to just beeline it straight into some of the builds. Sometimes you go into a box with 3 players just ready to gun you down. Edgy, Nick A30 in a lot of trouble. They will drop replays now up to his own devices. Knight, AV, the XSET boys continuing to pop off. Edgy, Nick A30, they were the ones who fell to their hands. As I mentioned before, XSET looking to work their way up the top 5. They started at 20. They need to get up to 35 points if they want to catch up. CRR now into effect down low. Using any build he can to just soften up. Take the impact of the damage. And Sancho, things are heating up, and look at those players are starting to drop off. And right now, the Storm Surge is in effect.
Storm Surge is in effect, so 11 looks like 8 in them are try and tarp out, but CRR, Unknown, and Benji just basically cut down their build and knock them off of height, and that's what Kanata, Creo, and Bucky had to go ahead and try to save themselves with the crash pad. What a smart, high intelligence, 200 IQ play from CRR, Benji, and Unknown, cutting off that tarp as they were heading over. Now Stretch, Zayt, and Sap are commanding, and they're sitting on pretty, very, very on the height, and no doubt having that shot launcher here. Reflections as we're on board still with the CRR. Now on board with Stinted Commandment EMAT, having a better run than the previous game. They do get greeted with an RPG, so Scented is going to have to rely on these flops as he's tarped out into zone, and he's going to have to be able to hold this position because this is front of Storm, and they have that strong position right now. They just have to make sure not to get, and here it is. Are going to start going down very quickly. Have to fall as Benji, Fishy, Unknown, who were sitting up at height previously in rotation, drop down below, and there it is. The effect is happening right now. Reverse 2K, Miro are still there. Commandment, EMAT are now at second height, but they're now being focused on Stretch Safe. Zayt at ultimate height, being challenged by Scope right now, but Scope pays the price, and down he goes. And now it is Scope all by himself. As Assault is with his teammate here. It's Innocence. They're going back and forth as Innocence is trying to get Assault away from the frag, but Scope went for height and paid the ultimate price. Reflections.
And if I'm Innocence, taking my time, I'm okay. Nobody's challenging. Benji Fish, RPG comes by, whizzes past his head, takes a little bit of damage, now down to 37, but luckily was able to get a cleanup. That makes sure he got 50 more health and some mats, but he does drop. Unknown now in a lot of trouble. He's got out of situations like this before. He doesn't know how to slow down, and unfortunately, he will get shut down. Creo follows up, takes him down, and now everybody starts to rotate through, but I want you to pay attention to the top. Stretch and Co, his entire team has the high ground. After that last game 3 where they were able to capitalize and clutch up and make a ton of points, now they are looking to break an Apex top 5. From that top position, Sancho, I think they have a real chance to do it.
Real chance to do it, but they have so much going now. They're being focused from all angles right now, and actually his team, as Cal coming in and take out Commandment, and Reverse 2K as the circle's going to go ahead and push them a little bit. What a great rotation here on the outside from Reverse 2K, Day and Miro. They are playing so intelligently. They may have to do a later switch as they are getting focused from height a little bit. This is height right now. Yes, they are focusing on Reverse 2K squad. Stretch, Zayt, Sap are looking very, very, very good right now as the circle is going to push them all the way to the northeast, and they do have the builds to hold this height. Reflections as we're taking a look. Sap, Stretch on height. We have so much action as first mirror on the second from height. They have to be careful. And Clicks is sitting at ultimate low with Bucky in the squad right above him.
Exit now out of the way. I do believe all players have dropped off, so the chances of going far in this game have now fallen. 12 players remaining against Stretch up top. That's been the biggest storyline for quite some time. No one has been able to take them down, and they have a good amount of mats that they can work with. On top of that, they have mobility. They also have the impulse launcher that they can use to yeet people out into the storm. The possibilities are endless with this roster, and right now Stretch is not going to give up that position. There's no reason to. Reverse 2K, he'll take the storm damage. He's got the floppers. He's okay. And that amounts for Creo dropping down. We're now down to 10.
Reverse 2K to squad are playing on a whole other level as Creo picks up the Elim on Day, but Miro did pick up a nice Elim as well. These are big time frags because you're not only getting point for Elims, but placement. And Miro picks up another one, an ICB.
Jeez.
What a big time Elim. And there it is. Stretch and his squad stand tall. But the story is the consistent play from Reverse 2K.